Hey YouTube, hope everything's going well. Welcome back to another Durkee Chan fragrance comparison. Guys, we got a huge show tonight, man. Prada L'homme, come on. Intense, come on. Versus Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. This is gonna be a good one, man. You know, the community loves Prada L'homme, the original. But I think Prada L'homme Intense definitely deserves some love as well. It's just darker, richer, more earthy take on Prada L'homme. Huge iris. Gives off that similar feel in terms of like warmth and sweetness and confidence and suaveness that something like a Bleu de Chanel EDP gives off as well. I know it's strange. So let me just get it out the way. Bleu de Chanel EDP, this to me is a 9 out of 10 fragrance. If it was cheaper, it would be 10 out of 10. But Chanel, man, you guys always knock it out of the park. I don't think there's been a single Chanel fragrance in the Allure line or in the Blue BDC line that I dislike. I like all of them. So, Bleu de Chanel EDP, holy cow. Talk about a masterpiece in a bottle, man. Grapefruit, sweet amberyness, incense. Everything is just so well balanced. It just evokes classiness, evokes elegance. It's something that the greatest wear, you know. I could see like Tom Brady, LeBron James wearing this fragrance. I could see Cristiano Ronaldo, even though he has his own fragrance line, I could see him wearing Bleu de Chanel EDP. I could see Johnny Depp wearing EDP. I could see Johnny Depp wearing Bleu de Chanel EDP, even though he's a spokesperson for Dior Sauvage. I could see Batman wearing Bleu de Chanel EDP. It is the fragrance of goats, the greatest of all times, man. This one, it's a rush of grapefruit, but then it has this sweet amberyness, slightly metallic twinge to it that just floors you, you know? You bring in the ginger, you bring in the incense, it's just wow. It's, you know, when you eat something, if it's sweet, it's spicy, it's salty, it's sourish, and I forgot the other one. That's kind of like Bleu de Chanel, you know? It hits all your senses. You get the sweetness, you get a little bit of tartness with the grapefruit, you get the richness and the earthiness of the incense, you get the freshness of, I think, the patchouli, it's the ginger. I'm just like, wow. It's so clean, it's so fresh, yet it has depth. It exudes confidence, it exudes, like, goatness, you know? So I can go on and on about how much I love Bleu de Chanel. It is just a fantastic fragrance. It smells different on everybody. You know, I have a friend that recently just bought a bottle of Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. Shout out to my boy Chris. If you're watching, Chris, come on, man. We both love Bleu de Chanel. But it smells different on the both of us. On him, you get a lot more of the metallicness off his skin. I've never smelled it that metallic, you know. Whereas for me, I get a lot of grapefruit on my skin. You know, it's just how our skin chemistry differs, you know. And wow, to me, I wear Bleu Chanel a lot more now than I do, you know, other nighttime fragrances. Just because, again, it's just like every time I wear it, I learn something new about it. I build a new memory with it. I just, you know, I'm like, this is my trusty fragrance. You know, it will not let me down. You know, and for the price, $130, it better not let me down, and it does not. It's, oh man. If I were to, I hate to say this, I really do hate to say this, if I were to go back in time and just buy a couple fragrances, I think I would be fine just buying Bleu de Chanel EDP, EDT, and Parfum. Like, I'd be set for the entire year. I'm set for the summer, I'm set for the winter, I'm set for the fall. Like, it just works, you know? Elegance in a bottle. Like, it has the smell, it has the longevity, it does have the projection, man. It really does. It's not obnoxious, you know, with the projection. You spray it on, It's elegant. If you walk by somebody, they'll get a whiff of it, but they won't be bombarded by it. If you know what I mean? Like when you go into a Abercrombie and Fitch store or a Hollister store back in the day, you were bombarded by the fragrance, right? Like just bombarded to the point you're just like, oh my gosh, like stop invading my personal space, right? Bleu de Chanel does not do that. Very respectful, very elegant kind of fragrance, right? You spray it on. If people come into your personal space, they will smell it. They will love it, but they will not be bombarded by it. Nobody wants to be bombarded by a fragrance, right? It's just disrespectful. So Bleu de Chanel, it's so smooth. It will not bombard you. Okay. So, oh man, I could talk about Bleu de Chanel all the time, but let's move on. But for my viewers out there, I am looking at purchasing some more Chanel fragrances like Platinum Egoist, the original Egoist, and then some of the older takes like Amadeus or something. I don't remember. But man, I just absolutely love Chanel and their men's fragrance. Nothing beats it. Jacques Polge, you masterpiece. He is the undisputed fragrance perfumer, I would say so. Oh wow, I totally forgot about Prada L'homme Intense. Now guys, don't get me wrong, Prada L'homme Intense. Holy cow, the more I wear this, the more I like it. It's crazy. It has Bleu de Chanel smoothness, it has Bleu de Chanel's amberiness, but instead of grapefruit, we get heavy iris with leather. And you might think, okay, it might smell like something like Profumo, by Armani, Code Profumo, because of the tonka bean leather note. Yes, you are correct. It does have that base underlying smell of the leather and tonka bean. It smells very good. It smells very put together, clean and fresh. But then the iris depth, oh boy, that depth of iris in there, it's like almost a chocolatey kind of vibe. It's crazy. When you add leather to a fragrance, it makes it chocolatey. And when you combine it with iris, it's like you're smelling chocolates and iris. It's again addictive in the dry down. The leather is very gentle. The tonka bean is so smooth. It's clean, it's unique, and it smells absolutely luxurious. Now, if we're just talking about smelling luxurious, like smelling like $1,000,000, I have to say Prada L'homme Intense does edge out Bleu de Chanel a bit, just a bit, just because of that iris note. It does give off that semi-lipsticky type of smell, but when you mix it with the leather, it adds a sense of sophistication to it, right? It adds this smoothness to it. It's the iris has this dark floralness about it, and this vanilla hint about it. Something like a Bleu L'homme Intense, very similar vibe. But I think Prada just makes it cleaner, makes it sharper, makes it more mysterious. And did I say luxurious? It is. When you get a whiff of this, it's just you feel like you're transported to summer in France. In a nice pad, a nice fully furnished hotel, looking over Paris and the Eiffel Tower. It is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm gonna get a whiff right now because it's wow. It's just, oh man, when you smell it, it fills your nose. Like you know that, wow, I'm smelling something of high quality. You just get it. It's smooth. It's so deep. Like you smell it and it lingers. You know what I'm saying? The depth lingers, and it's just soft. It's soft. At first, I have to admit, when I first sprayed it on, I was like, not doing it for me. But then the more I sprayed it on my skin, I'm like, oh, I did not know that it has this like sense of, basically it gives off this aura of luxury. Like it's crisp, it's modern, yet it's dark and earthy, and that's what makes it so mysterious. Like, man. So that's why when I was talking about these two fragrances, man, I would say they're in the same tier when you talk about like winterish, high quality fragrances, right? You can't really go wrong with either or. It's just that if you don't like iris, stay clear of Prada L'homme Intense, because it is very iris focused, and it has this earthiness about it. Same thing like Bleu de Chanel, it has an earthiness about it. Like Bleu de Chanel, instead of incense, it has leather in it, so it gives it that rusticness, that ruggedness. And man, it has iris instead of grapefruit and ginger. So, it's just like you have the same formula, but you're just plugging in different variables, right? And yeah, they're both very potent, but I do have to say this, guys. Prada L'homme Intense performs more than Bleu de Chanel, right? That leather and tonka bean stays with you 2 to 3 hours longer than Bleu de Chanel, and it projects a bit more than Bleu de Chanel. All right. So if we're talking about performance, Prada L'homme Intense edges out Bleu de Chanel by a bit. Yep. Now if we're talking about compliments, Bleu de Chanel definitely got me more compliments than Prada L'homme Intense, just because it has that grapefruit pop and that amberiness that just people swoon over, right? Don't get me wrong, Prada L'homme Intense, it smells really good, right? If you run into people that love the smell of iris, instant compliment, no doubt, right? But it's not as safe as Bleu de Chanel. I know, right? Like a Prada fragrance not being safe, that's an oxymoron, right? But I think because of the deepness and the richness of the tonka bean and leather, it can be a bit too much for some people that are not accustomed to smelling fragrances on a daily basis. So I definitely recommend Prada L'homme Intense. You spray it lightly, right? Because the lighter I spray it, the more pleasing it is to others, because that iris note can be a bit overwhelming to some people. Sometimes it's just too luxurious, right? It's just too luxurious, So definitely watch the trigger with L'homme Intense. Whereas Bleu de Chanel, I could do 10 sprays and it won't bombard people because everything's so well balanced, right? Where Prada L'homme Intense, the leather and that strong iris note can be a bit off-putting. Now, in terms of price, Bleu de Chanel EDP, you hurt my wallet, $130 for a 3.4 fluid ounce. Whereas Prada L'homme Intense, we'll run you about $70 at a discounter, 3.4 fluid ounce. Now, let's round it out, okay? If you're a college student, which one would you get? I would get Bleu de Chanel, Prada L'homme Intense has this matureness about it. It has this, like 30-year-old vibe to it, like a very responsible guy who wears a lot of suits, knows what he's, knows what he's going to do, he's like set, he's like focused, laser focused. Whereas Bleu de Chanel, it does have a grapefruit note in it, so it's a bit more playful. So if you're an older gentleman in your 30s, maybe late 20s and up, Prada L'homme Intense would be a better option if you're looking for something more mature than a Bleu de Chanel. But overall, in terms of versatility, Bleu de Chanel EDP wins. In terms of performance, Prada L'homme Intense wins. Guys, Bleu de Chanel EDP is a solid 9 out of 10. Prada L'homme Intense is a solid 8.5 out of 10. If it was a bit more versatile to wear, it would be a solid 9 out of 10, just like Bleu de Chanel. But for the winter, this one is going to be my new winter classy date fragrance. It just exudes confidence, exudes luxuriousness of the finest quality. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. Hope y'all have a good one. Take care. Jackie Chan out. Peace.